what was told to us was you were fired with cause. So you said quit. The devil's in the details there, but did you have a conversation with Tony to say, okay, this is it, we're done. There's not going to be, you have not talked to him?
Nope.
Really? The last time you talked to him was backstage at Wembley?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He went on air several days later and said he's never been afraid for his life like this. He's been going to shows for 30 years, felt fearful for his life, for the safety of the workers. When you saw this, when you saw that version of the story being put out, what is your reaction?
I mean, I can't tell you what Tony felt or what he was thinking, but I never did anything that would make him fear for his life. But, you know, he's who he is.
Did you feel like your reputation was being slandered? You know,
of course.
Someone hears that and you think, I'll be honest, I hear that and I like, did Punk attack Tony?
Yeah, I know. And everyone's like, oh my God, think of the billionaires. Like,
right.
No, yeah, they're very much as a part of, there's a concerted effort to, I guess, slander me and try to ruin my character and stuff like that. Like, and that's kind of the genesis of all the drama, you know? Like, don't do that. Why are you doing that to a guy who works for your company? Why are you lying? Why are you spreading rumors and lies and bullshit about your top guy? Doesn't make any sense. You're only hurting yourself. You're trying to dim my I don't know, you know, jealousy, envy. I don't really know. And again, it's not really the time to litigate it all and everything, but like, it's an unfortunate situation. I have a lot of friends there and there's a lot of good people that work there. I hope they continue to get paid. And I wish them well.
How would you describe what it's like working for Tony?
Man, it's a loaded question, you know, because I don't want this to be. I don't like the drama, you know. But I mean, it's the truth is the truth. Like he's not a boss. He's a nice guy, you know. And I think ultimately that is a detriment to the company. But it's not my company. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm an outsider. I thought I was brought in to, you know, sell merchandise and tickets and draw, you know, numbers for pay-per-views and stuff. And I clearly did that. But that's not what the place was about. And some people didn't like that.
Is there any part of you that's always like, man, I'm 45. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
And why?
I mean, did you saw my exasperated press conference when I'm eating Mindy's?
Yes, of course.
Drinking Spindrift.
So
there's very much a guy who's just, I'm too old for this shit.
So you just talked about how this all started. So then we go to the feud with Hangman Page, right? Adam Page. And it seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, when you debut in August of 2021, up until like the spring of 2022, it's pretty good times, right? You have that great...
I thought so, yeah.
But then when he says, I'm not here to just, you know, fight you, I'm here to protect you or protect the locker room from you, right?
Yeah.
In so many words. And the story is that he, you know, went off script, so to speak, and really pissed you off by saying that. Did you feel like that was the first time that your reputation, that your character was being slandered?
What he said didn't matter to me. But when you sit, you know, peeling the curtain back, ladies and gentlemen, and again, if you want to believe all the bad things about me, please do, just leave me alone. If I'm working with you and we sit and we talk, and, you know, like, I think one of the biggest criticisms about WWE was it's overly scripted. There's writers, you know, pro wrestlers don't need writers. Some people don't. Some people do. Some people prefer it, right? It's, you know, but I sat down with them and we hammered, I was very gracious, hammered out this promo. Oh, if you say this, what if you say this? Okay, I'll say this. Oh, if you say that, I'll say this. Okay, great. Great. Yeah, awesome. Great. And then he proceeds to go on live TV and not say any of the shit that we talked about. I can't hear him because the crowd's so loud and I'm looking at him and I have to really pay attention to what he's saying because my responses matter. I can't just say what I had planned because it's not going to match what he's saying to me. And he's saying some shit and I don't know what he's talking about. And I'm just like, man, why would you do this? Why would you ruin? TV is very expensive. You know, every minute of TV is hundreds of thousands of dollars between production and all that stuff. And you're just shitting on me and you're shitting on the business. Why would you do this? And I knew the promo ended with him punching me. And I had to fight just double leg him. Just double leg. Why is he doing this? I don't know what's going on, but I was a professional. And afterwards, I spoke to him and I was like, why'd you do that? And, you know, he thinks I got one of his friends who hasn't been fired. But I went to Tony and the lawyer and I said, you need to fix that. Because if I do, you're not going to like the way I fix it. And I thought I was being professional by not just murdering him on television. You know, I know some people are going to be upset about that. And some people are going to be like, oh, he's talking about this guy again. But with me, respect is the default. I respect everybody until you do something that makes me lose my respect for you. And I had never done anything to any of those guys. If they're basing how their attitude is towards me based on some bullshit their friend told them, well, I can't help you. But I got plenty of friends who don't like certain people, and I keep relationships business.
Right.
Right? And yeah, that's everything went off the rails from there. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's really a shame.
And you guys have a match, I believe from what you have said, you were kind of thinking the whole time that it would go off the rails in the match, so you couldn't really like fully.
Well, how could I trust him?
Right, of course.
Yeah.
You injure your foot, right? You break your foot.
The week after, yeah.
Take some time off, come back, and then it's the Moxley match.
Yep.
You win. When you are getting ready to go to that scrum, did you know that you were about to unload all of this, or is it just something in the moment that kind of took over you?
No, getting out there and seeing, you know, reporters that report shit about you like it's fact without ever checking with you to see if stuff happened, who are openly friends with other wrestlers. You know, it's just fucking high school. It's high school, cliquey, mean girls, drama bullshit. And I get there and I see these goofs, you know, and I just, you know, lose my temper. Top 3 CM Punk promos though.
So you do that, you say all of that, and it's fascinating going back and watching it because it's clear that Tony's a little bit uncomfortable sitting next to you.
Nothing he'd never heard before.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he didn't know that it would come out right then and there.
Should have handled it. I didn't have to sign an NDA for anything I did wrong.
Interesting.
You know,
what does that mean?
It means I have nothing to hide, and I don't give a shit if people.
So just for the record, once and for all, can you tell us what happened?
No,
okay.
There's.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, for that particular one.
There's an NDA in place for that one. Yeah.
Would you prefer if there just wasn't a scrum?
Yeah, those things are really cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's pro wrestling. Maybe do one. Like I did one like the day I came back. I was like, well, this is a big deal. Like I get it, you know. But the problem you have with pro wrestling is just anybody with a Twitter calls themselves a reporter or a journalist or whatever. And I experienced it firsthand. You know, the amount of misinformation that came out based on that. And again, I will go back to, you want to believe all that shit? I'm Bruiser Brody, and I'm running around, I'm running through the hallways, and I'm just fucking sucker punching people and all that. Great, man. Awesome. Believe it. Believe it. Because I'm over here, and I'm making money off it, and you ain't. Believe it. But it's just the amount of just lies and bullshit. It feels a little bit good to say that a lot of it is lies and bullshit, you know? But everyone's gonna, the people that don't like me based on that stuff, they don't like me anyway. They're not my audience anyway. You know? I don't know what else to say.
Can I ask about why is there an NDA? Like, so something happened, things happen, people have talked about them, worse things have happened in pro wrestling and in life. Why is there an NDA for this particular one? You
would have to ask the person that wanted me to sign an NDA.
Would that be Tony?
Yeah.
I did try to ask him about it one time in an interview.
It didn't
go very well.
I can't imagine he answered you.
No.
Yeah. And again, I am very uncomfortable right now, like talking about this
I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No. Well, I mean, I figured it was inevitable when I walked in the door, you know, but I also didn't want to be the guy that was just like, I appreciate that question, Ariel. Can't talk about it for 90 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever, you know? Like, I'm a human being, and this is real life shit that happened. And I don't mind talking about it because, again, I didn't want anybody to sign an NDA to hide some kind of bullshit that I did. you know?
In your mind, when that was done, did you think that perhaps you were done with the company?
Yeah.
You would have preferred that. And for the record, did you injure your tricep? Can you tell us that? If not, I understand, in the incident, or was it in the match? Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Will you ever be able to talk about this?
I don't know.
Is there a? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know how to do it. I've never had to sign one.
Why does anybody want to talk about it?
Well, just for the record, just to know.
It's grown into this ridiculous thing, Like, just go ahead and believe what you want.
So you go away, and it's kind of good timing because obviously you never want to get hurt, but we don't know if you're suspended, if you're hurt, if you're recovering from surgery, you just disappear. Did you ever get close to being let go at that point? You said at the beginning of all this, you said, please, let's just do it here.
Well, nobody in the company spoke to me for, I don't know, six months.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
Not a soul.
Paid for my surgery, booked my surgery. Thankfully, Dr. Sampson, who I knew from WWE, I have a good rapport with, he helped me with that. But I was on my own and all that stuff. And, if you think I deserve to be, fired or treated like that, that's your opinion. It's none of my business what you think of me. But, doing this one and the recovery for this one, based on how the recovery went for that one, I'm just like, man, it's night and day. And it's almost the comparison between, places where there's structure and there's protocols and there's professional people in charge of things. And I'm not having to research and find a PT spot. I had no help, nothing. And that's insane to me. Is that how they treat the Jaguars players? I don't know, but I don't think anybody should be treated like that if you're a professional athlete. I had no help. Nobody would speak to me.
So ultimately, why did you come back?
I've got a lot of friends there, and even though I thought the separate show and separating everybody without getting everybody in a room and squashing it was not going to work, part of me was just like, well, he's not going to let me go. Like I'm either going to be sitting at home or I could try to do some good. And if I can get a crew of people on television and maybe do some fun shows, like that sounded fun to me, okay, preferably I would like to be out of here. And then I think everybody's happy, because I don't do this because I need to. I do it because I want to, and it's supposed to be fun, especially at this level,
And could I ask, how much time did you have left on your deal? Like, was it something that you could have maybe dragged your feet and the clock was ticking, or was there a considerable amount of time?
Yeah, maybe I'm the stupid mark. Maybe I should have been like, oh, my arm's not healed. I'm just going to sit at home,
Was it almost done?
My deal? I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I had like a year left.
Could you tell though right away? I mean, you mentioned the Jack, conversation, but could you tell right away that nothing much had changed? That it was like, was there a moment there where you're like, you know what, this could work. This is nice. No.
I knew. I was like, it's never going to work. And you can't. That's not the way you facilitate things. And I'll always go back to so many different stories in wrestling about people flying off the handle and socking each other and then going on to make money. And how many times does it happen on a basketball court? How many times, like it happened a couple of years ago in an NHL practice game, like the St. Louis Blues started beating the shit out of each other. It's just like, I don't know. To me, that's life, and that's where I come from. And to other people, it's like the most outrageous thing in the world. I'm the devil.
When you came back, you said that David Zaslav, the head of WBD, calls you One Bill Phil.
Yeah.
And because you're the true, genuine article in this business, in a business full of counterfeit bucks. Was that you going off script?
No, that's me. Because the thing, going back to the pipe bomb, a lot of things that people don't understand about what they think is it's a shoot promo. I never do anything that exposes the business. I know where the line is, and I know where to dip my toe over the line, right? It changed the landscape of WWE because the reason I said Paul Heyman's name and Brock Lesnar's name is because I was not supposed to, like persona non grata, right? And to me, it's not that big of a deal mentioning these two guys' names. But to everybody, because everybody knew the rules and they knew the parameters and they knew that would specifically piss somebody off, like I said it. So to me, I'm getting away with murder, but I haven't even like kicked the dog, you know? And everything I said was related to everything that was on television. Same with that line. Now, if you want to think that I was talking about somebody because I was talking about currency and bucks, that's on you. But that's the magic of CM Punk, that I know where that line is, and I say and I do things that make you go, oh, I know this is all phony bullshit, but that guy's real. And if now I'm real and I'm absolutely insane and everybody backstage hates me and I'm this diabolical person that is going to whip your ass if you do some fucked up shit, great.
Dare I say this happened this past Monday with Drew McIntyre?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
People freaked out over that one.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was a great line.
Thank you.
Regarding your time in AEW, is there anything that you're proud of?
Yeah, because I think people expect me to be like, burn it all down, blah, blah, blah. But I made a lot of great friends there, which is ironic because I'm the guy that's just like, oh, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. But again, the people you work with, you wind up becoming friends with. And I did cool stuff. I got to work with Sting. Let's talk about like a weird thing. Like it's not even on the bucket list because it's just something you don't consider that is a possibility. I worked with Sting in the Greensboro Coliseum. Like it's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I think the positives definitely outweigh, the negatives.
Really?
I look at it more like I thought I was coming in to help business. If I could teach something, great. And I think I was just brought in for other reasons, like their business. And I know a lot of people are gonna be upset. It's just not predicated. It's not a real business. It's not about.
What do you mean by that?
It's not about selling tickets. It's not about drawing money. It's not about making money. It's just not.
What's it about?
I don't know.
Really?
I think having good matches, maybe. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was recently at an indie show, and somebody came up to me and they asked me, oh, did you watch my match? And I said, yeah. I'm like, oh, can you give me anything? And I almost really kind of faced like this dilemma, because where I was just like, and I looked at her and I said, what do you think I'm going to say? Well, you're going to tell me I need to sell more and not do as many moves. Yeah. Okay. Because it's a preference, right? Like it's a flavor of ice cream. But then I asked her, I said, what's the house here tonight? And she said, it's sold out. It's an arcade bar in Chicago. And I said, what can I tell you? You sold the place out. So at this level, and this wasn't like I'm on this level and I'm talking down to you, but I said, at this level, you're doing everything you can. I said, but that shit does not fly on national television. I think that's being proven right now. Maybe sometimes, maybe little bites here and there. It's not a sustainable business.
What about your time with MJF? Selfishly, you didn't ask me, but my favorite stuff that you did there was the stuff with MJF.
I think it's head and shoulders above everything else.
Did you enjoy the feud with him?
I did. Yeah.
Do you think that he could be one of the big stars, one of the faces of the business, He's relatively young still. Do you feel like he could be one of those guys?
Yeah, I think there's a lot. The talent there is unbelievable. You know what I mean? I just think it's presentation and environment. I'm going to get in so much fucking trouble for all this, but no, I think MJF is great, and I think where he wasn't great is when he catered to that small niche internet audience. But again, there's levels. So if that's their audience, then go for it.
Do you think they'll be around, like, given the fact that you say, like, will they be around in...
This is a loaded question. I think...
No,
like the company?
Yeah.
As a whole?
Yeah.
I think it's always going to exist as long as Tony wants to put money into it.
Okay. But can they be as successful? Like, do you feel like they're trending? Do you watch them even?
What's successful though? Like, what's the
Yeah,
definition? See, this is what I'm talking about, like levels. You know, because like I started on the indies, and to me, successful was I can eat tonight. I have gas money to get to wherever I was going, and man, I had a good match. You know, and then you get to television, and as somebody coming in who doesn't know jack shit about doing television, like I have to lean on people and ask questions and watch and learn and grow. And a lot of people, I think, are still just stuck in that indie mindset. And again, it's where I came from. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're more happy with some goof saying that you had a 5-star match and the building's a quarter full, we're not in the same business.
Right. So speaking of that, when you came back in August of 2021, you said when you left Ring of Honor, you left pro wrestling in 2005, and now you were coming back to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Obviously, the whole chunk in WWE you were kind of excluding.
Yeah.
Do you regret saying that?
I don't regret saying that. I think I was catering. I was probably maybe leaning a little bit too much towards that niche audience, because they're like, yeah. I was sold on AEW being very much an alternative to what WWE was. And, like, that's the biggest shame to me is like, this is the last chance. Like, I like competitors. I like guys being able to be like, oh, well, I can go over here and make X amount of money. That's good for the business. It's good for the boys, but when you're there, I like guaranteed money almost kind of ruined pro wrestling, like if you had to get paid based off the house, the place would be drastically different. That's the short time I had where I was in charge of Collision. That's the way I did things. What did we draw here last time? Okay, my goal is to get one more ticket sold. And I did that. What were the ratings last time? Okay, we're going to, and you work incrementally.